Committee at 7:02 p.m. on Wednesday, February 16th. Our first order of business is approval of the meeting minutes. Hopefully
Motion to
everybody.
approve.
Thank you. We have a second?
Second.
Second from Rig. Thank you. All right, Josh, if we could do a roll call.
Yep. Nate.
I'll abstain. I was not at the meeting.
Leah.
I'll abstain. I was not there either.
Chris.
Aye.
MJ.
Aye.
Rig. Rig, you're on mute.
Sorry. Aye.
Thank you. The motion was approved.
All right. Thank you, everyone, and welcome to tonight's meeting. So first on the agenda is public comment. I ask that if we do have public comment that you state your name and your street address. Do we have any public comment at this time? Public comments going second. All right, not hearing any, we will move on to our new business. Our first order of business is order FY 22-040, transfer order contractual settlement with the Bridgewater, the BPA. Tony, you want to just give us a quick?
You previously approved or ratified the Bridgewater Police Association's contract. This is the actual funding of that and the allocation to the various salary line items in order to fund it. And that's what's before you here.
Okay, pretty succinct. Thank you, Tony. Do we have any questions for anybody? From anybody for Tony on this particular order? All right, like Tony said, this is pretty straightforward. It's something that we've already reviewed and forwarded for recommendation. We're just meeting our obligations now. Not hearing any questions. Do we have a motion?
Motion.
Thank you, MJ.
Second, Chris.
Thank you, Chris. Josh, roll call, please.
Nate.
Aye.
Julie. I think that's Julie.
Yeah, it's Julie I with the telephone number.
Great, thanks, Julie.
You're welcome.
Leah.
Aye.
Susie.
I should probably abstain since I joined late and missed the discussion. Thanks.
Chris.
Aye.
MJ.
Aye.
Rig.
Aye.
Thank you. The motion was approved.
Okay, thank you, everyone. Moving on to the next order of business, FY 22-041, contractual buyouts. Tony.
Yes, this is for a contractual obligation, excuse me. Charlie Simons is going to be retiring in March after, and Laurie's on, she can correct me, I think it's 30 plus years. And this is his sick leave buyout. And this is the total amount. He will receive 1/2 of it upon his retirement and another half a year from now.
Wow, Charlie's retiring, huh?
Yep. And for those who don't know, he's overseeing the golf course as well as the park and recreation. And anyone that knows, I mean, he's from old school. He lives and bleeds Bridgewater. He's a working foreman as well as a superintendent, as well as someone who handles the purchasing for his group. The town's going to sorely miss him. I know I am.
Hey, Tony.
Yeah.
Thanks for the history on him. Wish him well. I don't have any issues with it. I was just curious for my own learning why the second half of it's paid out a year later. So just a normal structure.
It's really what's built into the contract. So he's part of the USW, all right? And the USW states that the town can pay it in one installment or two. A lot of times the individual will take it in one for tax purposes. In two if we offer to pay it all at one time. But at this point, we know we're going to have a number of other obligations. And so for a cash flow standpoint, we want to hold on to half of that. And it's 29 years for the town. I was mistaken.
Great, makes sense. Thank you.
Yeah, and just to maybe give another context, this is one of the remaining grandfathered, other than police and fire, sick leave buyouts that you will see under the USW as we go through, I think, the most senior employees, because we factored that out of the contracts going forward.
Hey, Tony, this is Greg. Oh, sorry.
Oh, go ahead, Rick. I'm sorry. Go right ahead.
No, that's okay. Maybe I heard you correctly or incorrectly. Did you say that this is the last of the grandfathered individuals?
I said this is one of the last. There's one or two other employees that have been here as probably almost as long as Charlie has, and so there may be one other individual. I don't have the information in front of me, but I do know that any of the new employees that have come on or come into new positions under the USW that would, require us to pay a sick leave buyback are very few, because we have worked that out of the contract based on really a grandfather clause. So when we went to negotiate, I think it was 6-7 years ago, the town manager, probably before my tenure, would work to remove the sick leave buyback clause. So we are working ourselves out of this financial obligation.
Thank you, Tony. You actually answered my second question that I had with respect to the current infrastructure of sick leave. Thank you.
Yeah. You're welcome.
Mr. Chairman, I have a question and actually something just brief I want to say.
Go right ahead.
First, Tony, since Charlie is retiring, do we have his date that he's going to retire?
We have all that, yes.
Okay. I assume it's not public information then, right?
I think it is. I don't know the exact date. I think it's mid-March.
Okay. Well, the other thing I did want to mention, just for a little more edification, to add on to what Tony had talked about for Charlie, I actually, when I worked for the town on town manager side of things, I used to interact with Charlie on almost a daily basis. And I can tell you right now, with Charlie retiring, we are losing a brain trust of knowledge about the golf course, and intimate knowledge about the park and rec system in town, and various other issues and histories that have gone along with both of those departments. And I think that whoever succeeds Charlie, I hope they have an opportunity to either reach out to him or he gets a chance to speak with them directly, because honestly, it's going to be a very big chair to fill. And I think it's a loss that we're going to see Charlie go, but I'm glad that he's finally retiring. He's finally going to have a chance to actually play the links, hopefully, without having to go seeing if they need to be sprinklered or the irrigation system is broken or needs to be fixed or something. So that being said, Mr. Chairman, I'm going to be more than happy to support this.
Okay, great. Yeah, it's true. Everything MJ said is it's amazing what he's done. He does everything. It seems like, Try to find the guy. You got to chase him all over town.
Does he take contractual work? I need some help with my grass.
Maybe he'll do that in retirement.
He might.
And his official retirement date is 3/2.
Okay.
Yeah, coming up soon. Well, good for him. He's worked hard, deserves it. All right. Do we have any other questions on this order? Okay, not hearing any. Do we have a motion?
Motion to approve?
Thank you.
Second. Second, Susie.
Thank you, Susie. Josh, if we could have a roll call, please.
Nate.
Aye.
Julie.
Aye.
Susie.
Aye.
Leah.
Aye.
Chris.
Aye.
MJ.
Aye.
Rig.
Aye.
Thank you. The motion was approved.
All right, thank you, everyone. Moving on, FY 22-042, acceptance of a fire safety equipment grant. Pretty self-explanatory, but Tony, if you maybe just want to give us a quick.
No, I think it is. Unless you have any questions, I think the explanation in this case is on point.
All right. Then one thing I would like to say real quick too is, one thing that I appreciate and have definitely noticed on the moons I've been here is that, under the guidance urging of our town manager and our finance director, our department heads seem to do, we seem to get a lot more grants coming into the town, which is great because it's essentially free money for us in some ways. But there definitely has been a big uptick. And it's awesome to see that, we're still receiving these grants for money that's out there for us to be had.
Here, here.
Yeah.
I'll pass that along. The department heads are really on point with this, and you'll see additional grants down below.
Yep, awesome. Do we have any?
Oh, sorry.
Oh, go ahead. No, we have motion.
Motion to approve.
Okay, do we have a second? Josh, we could have a roll call, please.
Nate.
Aye.
Julie.
Aye.
Susie.
Aye.
Leah.
Aye.
Chris.
Aye.
MJ.
Aye.
Rig.
Aye.
Thank you. The motion was approved.
All right, thank you, everyone. Moving on, FY 22-043, acceptance of a grant, COA. So this is for the senior center. Another grant, and it seems to be mainly targeted at outreach.
Yeah, and this is what's really good about this. You can see it in the summary, but it's great that they'll be getting, someone to come in and work to create materials and a marketing campaign and outreach, and really, again, promote the services that Emily and her team have really done a great job over the last few years, especially during COVID. They're really doing a real nice job. And again, her reaching out and taking advantage of a grant is going to serve the elders in the town of Bridgewater.
Thank you. Any questions? Do we have a motion?
Motion to approve.
MJ first, yep.
Second.
Second, Julie.
Yeah.
Josh, if we could have a roll call, please.
Nate.
Aye.
Julie.
Aye.
Susie.
Aye.
Leah.
Aye.
Chris.
Aye.
MJ.
Aye.
Rig.
Aye.
Thank you. The motion was approved.
Thank you. And on to our final order for this evening, FY 22-045, acceptance of a grant, COA-BPD. Looks like another grant. Oh, go ahead, Tony.
Just there seems to be a little bit of contradiction in who's making the donation. So you can see where inside the order itself, it's the Bridgewater Police Association, that union. Down in the explanation, it references the police department, but the department members of that union have this No Shave November, and it's a fundraising event, and therefore the BPA, Bridgewater Police Association Union, is in fact making a donation here. The fire department group will be making a similar donation to be used by the seniors. It should be coming on an order at your next meeting, something going through council. I think it might be a little bit less than this, but those are going to be paired up to
replace the 10.
That's correct.
All right. Do we have any questions? Comments? No. Do we have a motion?
Motion to approve, Chris.
Thank you, Chris. Second. If we could have a roll call, please, Josh?
Nate,
Aye.
Julie,
Aye.
Susie,
Aye.
Leah,
Aye.
Chris,
Aye.
MJ,
Aye.
Rig.
Aye.
Thank you. The motion was approved.
All right, thank you, everyone. Moving on, just a couple of quick things I'd like to bring up. I know we've had a couple long meetings, so thank you for all of you being there. Plus, we had our joint meeting with the town council and the school committee, which was informative. And I do appreciate everybody's time. So tonight, I don't want to take up too much of everybody's time. So just, the joint meeting review that we had, one thing I would like, because we will obviously all see this here in the future. One thing that kind of stuck out with me a little bit is that the regionalized school system is asking for, a fairly large amount of hires coming up here soon. I'm a political science major. I wasn't not a math major, but I think the number worked out to about a 15% increase that they're looking for in their payroll, and an increase in the numbers that they'll be asking us for. Like I said, we'll have plenty of time to discuss this later. Was there anybody else at the meeting that would want to bring something up just real quick to share with our fellow committee members?
No, I was there. It's Julie.
Yeah.
That is the initial request that the school committee puts forward. It's kind of not a wish list, but more like a needs-based budget. And I know that the subcommittee will be, dwindling and poking away at that. It shouldn't be the final number. The other big ticket item was the track, right? And I think that that's been before the town council, and there's some discussions on that capital item as well. And it continues to be, to the best of my knowledge.
Yeah, I believe that's correct. Yep.
If I may, give some information relevant to the revenue that's in a positive for the school, and some reserves. And I'll give you a quick update on the capital order. That capital order has been moved to hearing. All items have been moved, no modifications to that order. So it appears, unless there's objections at the hearing, that should move forward. As it relates to Chapter 70, the 18% increase that the regional school district saw, there has been no change in that number. There's been no reference to that number changing. That would be a great thing for the school. And they just had their retained earnings certified, or they called, well, I call it unrestricted. They will call it, and they call it something else. I have no idea why, but typically it's about $1.5 million. It's really your net after expenses and revenue. They're going to have $3.3 million this year. And I think that's the highest I've seen since my tenure, and I'm going on my 7th year. So those are some positive things and some positive outlooks going into the 23 budget. And the first commitment for motor vehicle excise tax is more, it came out better than I anticipated. The number is above last year's. And that's good news on the local receipts, because it's about $4 million, between $3 and $4 million. I wanted to just hit those highlights for you.
Okay, thank you, Tony.
You are
correct. And one other thing is those hires that I think, Nate, you were referring to, some of them were going to be maybe paraprofessionals, pending the market, and that would be to eliminate some out of district placements, but also alleviate some of the class size issues that they may have going forward, if they can, find someone at that level, I think. So it's not all like full teacher salaries, I guess, is my.
Yeah. Half of them were for the kindergarten classes, because they're running what, 27 kids a class or something.
Something like that. I don't have the numbers in front of me exactly, but.
Yeah. So, like I said, we will have. Oh, go ahead.
No, Nate, I think, to that point, I think that would be my only question is, 'cause I'm fully in support. I have, a young son who's going to be looking at going into kindergarten here shortly. And so to be in a classroom with 27 kids, I'd be in support of reducing that number. Right. But I think I would be interested to know, like, out of those 15, support personnel that they were looking to hire, what that would be equivalent to for full-time hires, right?
You may be able to find a draft on the school district website, but I'm not 100% sure. I know the hearing or the presentation is usually coming up soon. If
You know, and I'm going to use this opportunity to segue into another ask. You know, we've discussed before is having a member of this committee act as a representative to the school committee, or probably more specifically to the school committee's budget subcommittee. So if somebody is interested in fulfilling that role, just, you know, just so we have better communications and a little better insight to what's going on, I think that would be beneficial to this committee as a whole. So if there is somebody that's interested in that, if you want to reach out to me after the meeting, please feel free. All right, so just moving on. Okay, so our next meeting too, we are going to see a order for a new fire station, and I was reached out to Mr. Rushton, Council Rushton reached out to me and asked if he could address this committee when it does come before us for the first time. And of course, I said to him, you know, we would love to hear his insight and his input. And I believe too, Mr. Rushton was on the fire station committee. Is that correct, Tony? The planning committee or the?
I believe so. I think one of your members was as well. I'm not sure, but yes,
I was, but I'm not any longer.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So that I told, obviously, I invited him. Hopefully, you know, I don't know. Chief McDermott was looped in there too. We may or may not hear from him on that next meeting. So the next meeting would be the 2nd, right, Josh?
Yep.
Okay. So just to get everybody ready, just so everybody's in the know about that. So we will have a guest at our next meeting, so we can discuss the fire station order that will come before us.
Oh, Nate, I had a quick question.
Sure.
For that meeting, I know we'll have Councilor Rushton. Will the town manager at all be in attendance as well?
In that loop, it was Mr. Rushton, Chief McDermott, and Michael. So I'm assuming that, and then I asked Josh to make sure that they all get the link come that meeting.
Okay.
So that's my anticipation is yes.
Excellent.
But, on a different note, I also know that at the town council meeting last night, there's going to be an ordinance referred to us about the marijuana tax, recreational marijuana tax. It was referred to the budget sub and ourselves, so we can be on the lookout for that as well.
For that too. All right, so that will probably come up at the budget subcommittees, their next one, which will be the Monday before us. All right.
They'll see it Monday and then we'll see it Tuesday. Is that? Oh, maybe. Wednesday?
Maybe, I don't know. Josh, do you know that?
Sorry, missed that.
Do you know if we'll see that marijuana?
Anything referred at last night's committee meeting will be, our town council meeting will be on the 3-2 agenda.
Yeah, it was referred to both committees.
Correct.
It was, okay. Who sponsored that, Mr. Wood, Councilor Wood?
Yes.
We know. Okay, all right, maybe I'll reach out to him too. You know, again,
well, he's on the budget sub, so we all know where he votes.
Yeah.
It's not the first time he's proposed it or something similar.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, I think the town manager will be in attendance because there needs to be and I will be able to assist there, clear explanation of what the revenue stream is now, what the law calls for, and he can speak to that as well, and then the particular, at this point, the particular location that he can explain may be eligible. He'll explain how we got here, but there's some new rulings coming out.
Two birds with one stone.
Yeah.
Well, that's something else going on there, but anyway, I'll let him explain.
Yeah, at this point, we'll stop the conversation on this,
Yeah.
As we don't have an official order in front of us, just a sort of a preview of what's coming. Okay, is there anything else from anybody? Okay, so the 2nd would be our next meeting, Wednesday, March 2nd. Wow, it's gonna be March already, at 7 p.m. We have a motion.
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
There we go. MJ first, Julie seconds. Josh, if we could have a roll call, please.
Nate,
Aye.
Julie,
Aye.
Susie,
Aye.
Leah,
Aye.
Chris,
Aye.
MJ,
Aye.
Rig.
Aye.
Thank you. The motion was approved. The meeting's adjourned.
Thank
Okay,
you.
thank you, everyone. See you in
Thank you,
March.
everyone.
Thanks, Tony.
Night.
Thanks,
Yeah,
everyone.
be well, be
Bye.
blessed.
Good night.